What's going on, everybody? If you are watching this, I hope you had a great weekend. Hope you was able to reset. And I hope you made some money last week. And for this week, we're looking to make some more money. Without further ado, it's another weekly watch list for True to the Strat. And we're going to jump straight into things. One thing to note, it is OPEX. This week, options expiration. So I'm looking to play a little defense on the swings I'm getting into. So keeping this list short and sweet. I want to see how Tuesday opened up. We got some red news on Tuesday, so I definitely want to see how price reacts on Tuesday. But without further ado, let's jump into the names that we got for this week. The first name we're going to talk about is Pep. I like Pepsi Cola. So, just to give you out a week synopsis on this, we have a double outside week with the last week sweeping the lows of the previous week and pumping straight to the upside, taking out previous week high as well, creating an outside week. And I just like how this one is setting up. Not only we setting up for a 3-2 on the week, 3-2 on the week above 150.89, but on a daily, we also have a nice and beautiful 2-1. So we can use this 2-1-2 to the upside above 150.67 to trigger 3-2 on the week, which is at 150.89. Targets are real simple, keeping it really simple. You want to target PYC, previous year close, at 152.06. And we want to eventually hit these pivots, the likeness of 153.21, and then eventually the highs of 155.18. If this can really get out of there, we want to hit the previous quarter high at 157.80. Previous quarter high will be also 2 up on the quarter. Okay, so loving the way this Pepsi's setting up. Real simple setup. Real simple setup going into this one. A lot of eyes on Coke as well. So I like Coke and Pepsi, but keeping it on Pepsi, a lot of silent hitters in the group is looking at Coke as well. So we got both of those on Smash, Coke and Pepsi. Keeping that. Next ticker I'm going to talk about is Apple. I like Apple, so again, starting out with the month. Apple went 2 up on the month, pulled back. Current week swept the previous week lows and started to hammer. So that's something I'm looking forward to. I want to see if we can get that TTO back to the upside, that shooter hammer combo back to the upside, and eventually take out the previous week high at 288.62. The daily, really basic. We got some consolidation happening here for the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. So all last week it's been consolidating, and candles has been staying closing within the same range. And now we're looking for that 212. We want to look for that 212 above 179.22, and that would be entry. And eventually we want to target 281.14. Then we want to target 284.73, and then again get back up to that 288.62. Liking this out. I'm loving how this looks. Forgot to mention the contracts for Apple. We looking at the 16 Jan 290s. 16 Jan 290s. Real simple setup. I love how we holding this zone currently. Let's see if I get it. I like how we holding this current zone here. Right there. So again, looking for a simple TTO back to the upside. That's what we're looking for. This one can print, especially if we are green on the week. If we are red on the week, I expect this to either consolidate some more or pull back. So just keep that in mind. Next ticker I like is BRKB. Berkshire Hathaway. Another real simple setup. I like how Berkshire Hathaway created some new highs in the previous week and then pulled back. We pulled back to the previous year high and hammered. I also want to note how that with the current week hammered at the previous year high is where they like to buy price. So right in this range, I'm looking for that TTO back to the upside, or that 2 down, 2 up reversal on the weekly time frame as well. We want calls above 502.97. Calls above 502.97. Let's check out the daily. The daily will be looking at a 2 up continuation. I looked at the hybrid time frames, and mostly the 3-day, 2 days, also 2 up continuation as well, except for the 4-day, which is a 212. A new 4-day won't open up until the 17th, so that's a few days until now. But again, 3 days, 2 up, 2 days, 2 up. I don't mind taking a 2 up on this one because it's coming out that demand area. So this is another one we could play the demand area on. So just looking to the left, like I always say, you see this is where they buy in price, same way you did here. So again, like in this demand zone, if I stretch this all the way back, a lot of answers again are within. Just looking to the left. So y'all just look to the left. Y'all see in this range what it did. Nice 3-day move to the upside. Crazy 3-day move to the upside. Be back in that range. Not saying it could go crazy like that. I mean, it can, but I always take note, and I always say price as memory. So calls above 500. We want to target 502.97. That would trigger the week. We want to eventually target 506. 507.66, and we want to get up into the previous week high range, which is 514 and 513. There will be some turbulence in this range because that's also where price sold off. I like 16 January 520 C's for this. Even if we get up to the 507 range to 514, because the IV is so low on these, one nice push would pump these monthly contracts. So just keep eyes on that. Next ticker I like is SoFi. Let's check out the week for SoFi. So again, same idea with SoFi. SoFi, we went hammer last week. We swept the week before last, taking out that 2693. And again, we're just playing this zone where these wicks exist, and we want to see if we can pop or reverse back to the upside. Haven't checked the hybrid time frames on these, but nice 2-2 rev on a 4-day, nice 2-2 rev on a 3-day, and nice 2-2 rev on a 2-day. We also have a 3-2 on the daily. So that being said, I like calls above 2750. Be a little patient with this one. It might still consolidate between Friday's high of 27.28 and the previous quarter close of 26.42. It could still very much consolidate within that. Worst case scenario, we don't hold PQC and fall down to PML, previous month low. That's the worst case scenario. And if that does happen, I expect a reversal back to the upside, because that's a very reactive range point as well. But in lieu, we are looking for the 3-2. We want to fill this gap. That'll be our first target of 2848. Then want to get up to the PMC 2972. Eventually take out the previous week high of 3042. Now, if this really wants to get out of there, I expect us to hit 3175, then PMH 3273. I like the 26 December 28 Cs for this. The 28 Cs, by the time we hit the 29, I mean, one good 2-day pump, the 29 knows to be like 200%, 300%. If you want to grab the January monthlies, you can as well. If you want to target the 32.73, y'all know my slogan, more time, the better. Last but not least, HD, Home Depot. Watch how these open on Monday. A lot of these contracts go open up a little funky on Monday, so just be a little careful. Be patient with it. Let's look at the monthly. First and foremost, the month is still inside. Could go 2-on-2 month to the upside in January hit. Looking at that weekly, 3-2 on the week. We got 3-2 on the week. Let me go ahead and clear this chart though. Beautiful 3-2 in the week. We've been basing here for a while now. I think HD is due for a move, in my opinion. Regardless of opinion, just going off what the charts are saying, I think HD is due for a move. We got a 3-2 again, coming off this basing range, coming off this demand zone. This is where the money is accumulating. Keeping it really, really, really simple. Don't got nothing sophisticated for y'all. But all right. The 3-2 triggers at 362.72. However, there's an earlier entry on a daily if you want to take it. And that could be off this 212 continuation to the upside at 360.76. That could be an entry. Again, daily, the trigger of the week. And then we want to make our ways to the target of 367.33. Next target 373.52. And then I guess we could take out this last pivot of 376, and then get up to that PMH, 383.68. I like the 16 January 380Cs for this. Again, be a little patient. I think this is ready to go. As long as we hold PMC and PWL, as long as we hold that range, be patient. I think this is ready to rock to the upside, like in a 3-2. Coming up this demand zone. And that wraps up my weekly watch list. Hope you have a good rest of your day, night, morning, whatever time you're watching this. And let's make money this week. All right, y'all. Peace.